Yeah, our wide receiver course definitely bring a ton of speed to the table with Brandon, Kenny, Stevie, all those guys. But nothing can really replicate the speed of a real life NFL football game. You know, that's something that you only get being in the situation itself. Now we have experience playing them. We played them twice last year, twice the year before if you count the preseason game. But it's really just going to come down to being prepped and ready for that first game. Is you can't really prepare for that real life game speed, but we come as close as possible with the speed that our wide receivers bring.
John, do you have a follow-up? You're on mute.
Oh, you muted, my guy.
Sorry about that. How do you balance the speed that they have at wide receiver, specifically Tyreek Hill, trying to contend with them and one of the two best pass-catching tight ends in the league?
Yeah, it's definitely a mean 1-2 punch, and that's what led them to be Super Bowl champions last season. So really just comes down to being aware of where those guys are on the field at all times, making sure that you have an extra set of eyes on each of them, and don't let either one of them just plain and simply wreck the game. Just keep Mahomes in the pocket as much as possible, have an eye out for those two guys, and everyone stay key to the fundamentals and do their job and, limit the damage.
John, are y'all good?
Yeah.
Aaron Wilson?
Hey, Justin. How are you doing?
What's up, buddy? I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you. Justin, I watched the video and I read the action items that you guys released on social media. I wanted to ask you about the video, your thoughts on it, kind of what you want to see going forward stemming from the video. And I have a follow-up. Also, I wanted to ask you about the Spirit of the Bull Award. Congratulations.
Okay. Yeah, well, first up on the video, I thought the video was awesome. I thought it was very powerful. It made a statement that you see across the whole league, us and the Ravens, both mentioning the Justice and Policing Act, otherwise the George Floyd bill, and really just showing that unity that across sports that we're coming to try and bring attention to systemic injustice and police brutality. And not only just saying that we want to make change, but in the action items to start listing out that these are the changes that we want to see. Because it's a time now to start getting more specific and not be as vague and start to list out the actual points and the ways that we can actually affect change and make those concrete statements. So I love the way that the video came out. I give a lot of credit to my video department too for their hard work and putting it all together, and to the players for us all coming together and making a statement like that.
And my follow-up, actually two quick ones. You're winning the Spirit of the Bull Award, your thoughts on that, and also just what did you learn from Tyrann Mathieu, who you guys will play against again? Thank you.
Yeah, the Spirit of the Bull Award is probably one of the coolest awards that the Texas organization does. It's a big honor to be recognized for, what I do on the field, but what I do in the community. It's a big deal to me to always want to give back, especially work with kids. I'm in the middle of trying to create my foundation, and I plan to do a whole lot more in the future. But there's a ton of guys who have won the award before me. I think most recently DJ Reader, and it's just an honor to be associated with men like that. And to have that award presented by the Texas organization, it's just a great feeling, honestly. And it's encouraging for me to go out and continue to do the work that I'm doing to make more impacts on my community here and my community back home. On your next question, you're talking about playing with Tyrann. Tyrann was an awesome leader. I think he was a great guy to be a rookie behind in my first season because he just brought so much experience and versatility and leadership. And I know he's doing that for them with the Kansas City Chiefs now too. But him and K-Jack both taught me things that I'm now teaching to the next guys following behind me. And I'm excited to see him again, play on the field against him. I think he's going by the landlord now over there in Kansas City. So it's definitely exciting to play against guys that and watch them do their thing.
Sarah Barshop.
Justin, I know you mentioned that you have a lot of experience playing the Chiefs these last two seasons. What did you learn from that playoff game, and how did that help you focus on what you and the team wanted to improve on going into this season opener?
Well, I guess the biggest point home is not only do you have to start fast, but you have to finish strong too. That's the biggest take home away from it. But just the mere fact that we're two very powerful teams. You know what I mean? We both have the ability to score points quickly. We both have the ability to make big plays. And it's just going to come down to being on those details, and being strong and play a full 60 minutes. You can't play 24 minutes. You can't play 30 minutes. You can't play 45 minutes. It's been back and forth every time we played them the last 2 years, ever since I've been here. And it's going to be that way again. We just have to have the grit and the strong mentality, be tough, smart, and dependable, and come out on top and play the full 60-minute game through and through. And that's what it's going to come down to, especially it being the first game of the season. Tackling is going to be huge. No mental errors is going to be extremely huge on both sides. And that's just what it's going to come down to.
John McClain.
Justin, Anthony Weaver's told us numerous times about how much he wants to improve the pass rush. You see, have those guys in front of you. We know what JJ and Whitney can do. What do you think about the progress you've seen from young guys like Martin and Amenahu?
I've seen Charles Amenahu take real big strides this camp. And you usually see it guys coming from their first year to their second year making that jump. And I've seen that in Charles, and I'm excited about it. As far as Jacob, the guy has a motor that doesn't stop. I'd even say he's on his way to being one of those top-tier pass rushers, because every time he's in the game, he makes an impact. You can even think back to the Buffalo Bills game last year when he had that the fumble recovery and the plays he's made ever since he's come here from Seattle. I think that our pass rush has been bolstered, especially behind Coach Weaver. And, I'm excited about what that's going to be able to do for us as a defense to be able to make more plays.
John, did you have a follow-up?
I do. Justin, now that you've had a full training camp to play with Derrick Murray, he's going back to Kansas City. They've moved him around a lot. What do you think about him? How is the communication with you guys being the last line of defense?
Very intelligent player. First and foremost, you just understand that just from talking to him. He understands ball. He's been in a variety of systems. He's played corner, safety, star, weak side linebacker. He's played all the positions on the back end. So very knowledgeable and he's a technician in his craft too. As far as when you look at his fundamentals, his hand placement, his footwork, very keen on the details, and it's been a joy to play with him. I've had the most fun playing alongside him in the 3 years that I've played in the league so far. And I'm excited for what that's going to be able to do for us during the season, and our interchangeability, the ability to disguise, to move around, just to talk ball. We were just talking last night, texting at almost midnight, just talking about the Kansas City Chiefs and how practice was. So we have that open line of communication between each other, so where we talk all the time, and it's been a great partnership.
Aaron Wilson.
Hey, Justin, looking ahead to the football game and seeing Patrick Mahomes again, you guys have played him a few times now. What are some of the special challenges of defending Patrick? And obviously, the Chiefs, everybody saw, what he could do in the Super Bowl, and they rewarded him with the big contract. But what do you guys think about how you can match up? What are some of the things you could try to do to try to counteract some of the things he brings to the game? Thank you.
Yeah, definitely the formula everyone's trying to find an answer to. Patrick Mahomes is a special quarterback. His ability to move around the pocket and his arm strength and arm talent. The biggest thing there is don't let him be able to get out of the pocket, because when a guy like that with the arm talent that he has and all the speed around him, those guys have more time to run down the field. It's tough on the front and on the back end to guard guys for that long. So the big thing is keep continuous pressure on him, take away his biggest targets in being Kelsey and Tyreek Hill, and just get pressure in his face. Don't let him just sit back there all day.
And last question for Brandon Scott.
Hey, Justin, what do you and your teammates make of the historical significance of this game? I don't know if you can hear me. What do you guys make of the historical significance of this game? Being the first one post-COVID, Obviously, the first one of the season. Have you guys given any thought to that?
Yeah, this has been an off season, and it will be a season like no other that we may not even be able to see again, at least in my lifetime. Hopefully not. But it's definitely a unique situation from just how the daily life in the building is, all the COVID protocols to make sure that we're all staying safe and healthy, to there being no or limited fans in the stadium, to there being no pumped in audio noise and all that. It's definitely the most unique experience in all season I've ever had in any level of playing ball. And I think it's going to be remembered because of that. You know what I mean? Especially being able to play on the first game of the season on Thursday night. In addition to all of the social justice that's also happening at the same time too. This has just been like a melting pot of a bunch of unique experiences that I think will be unforgettable.
And one more for John McClain.
Yes, thank you. Justin, you see AJ Moore every day. He's had a great camp. What do you think about the way he's done so far, and what do you expect from him this season?
I expect a lot from him because I know he can handle it. He's a workhorse. He's one of our special teams leaders, and I've seen him continue to grow ever since, we're the same class. So we came in on the defensive side of the ball too, and being able to start making plays, playing with the ones on defense. I've seen him growing a lot, and he's excited about it. He's going to bring a lot of energy to the table. He's a guy that never gets tired. And as long as he keeps making plays and starts doing it on Sundays, I can't be more excited to watch him go do his thing.
Thanks so much, Justin.